Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com. Hey, it's Icarus, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite girl, Artisha. Happy Wonderful Wellness Wednesday, and welcome to the Uterus Bar. Okay, for those that are new, welcome. For those that are returning, hey family, welcome back. I am really excited. I have a very special guest, very, very special guest. And I'm also I have two other special guests besides this other special guest that I want to bring on. Yes, you guessed it. Let Your Lymph Flow Lymphatic Tea is a special guest. And the Uterus Bar guidebook is the special guest. And you can purchase both on 208lymphatics.com. Okay. Get your tea. Let's get these toxins out of our system on a daily. And without further ado, my special guest, she comes all the way from Utah, and her name is Miss Chris Rogers. So you guys stand by as we're getting ready to have her enter.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Now that you are here. So everyone, this is the gorgeous and courageous Miss Chris Rogers. And briefly, I had the pleasure of actually meeting her. She reached out to me the day after she had her hysterectomy. And I just want to be a vessel to those and a support system to those that are going through this or thinking about going through this this journey. So, Miss Chris, can you tell the world who you are? Who is Miss Chris Rogers?
So, like she said, my name's Chris. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am a mother of two and a model out here, and I also run an entertainment company. So that's me.
And then, okay, thank you. Okay, and if you don't mind, how old are you?
I'm 32. So.
Okay, a fabulous 32, might add. And so you say you have two boys. How old are they?
Yeah, 10 and 2 years old. My 2-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
They're fun ages though. So.
Right. You know what? I have a 5-year-old and all boy moms. So shout out to the boy moms out there. So yes, I definitely know they keep you on your toes, man, like really, 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 really. So when did you have your hysterectomy?
So I actually had it 3 weeks ago. I'm 3 weeks out. So
wow.
Very recently. Yeah.
So, okay. So we're getting ready. We're going to go deep. I want to go back to why did you have to have a hysterectomy?
So about a year ago, it was actually on Halloween of last year. I had to have a D&C for a miscarriage that I had. And ever since that day, I've been having like the most pain I've ever had in my entire life, like worse than labor pain. It's like I knew that something was wrong. So the entire year since that time, I was getting ultrasounds done. I was in and out of the doctor's office. I went to the ER 5 different times this year, and no one ever had any solutions for me. They'd always say, oh, everything looks normal. We don't know what to tell you. Everything looks okay. I was in the ER so often that they would just be like, hey, what's up? Give me pain medication and send me home. Like there was just nothing that anyone was doing. So I finally went back to my OB, the one that delivered my son, and I said, hey, we need to find a solution for this. Like, should we get a hysterectomy? Is that even an option? And he was like, oh, if that's what you want to do and you're done having kids, let's do it. And I was like, wait, what? Like, okay. And so right then and there, he was like, let's do it. I went home and I was still kind of iffy about it and on the fence about it. But then the surgery center called me and we made the appointment maybe like 2 days later. And then I ended up getting it like a week later. Like it was so fast how it happened. And my OB had told me, he said, yes, there is another surgery that we could do, but it might not work. So we might not want to do it because you still might have to get a hysterectomy either way. And I was like, okay, so there is another option, but you don't even want to try it, is what you're telling me. So.
Wow. Okay. So first of all, I'm so sorry that you had a miscarriage. It's something I can really sympathize and empathize with. That is something that I can actually sympathize and empathize with because I too had a miscarriage. What was it? It was in 2022, around Thanksgiving. So I definitely understand that. And I am so sorry, my love, that you went through that. And to those that have experienced that, my heart is with you guys. Okay. Very much with you. But we do have angel babies that like to think that they are surrounding us and protecting us. So I always like to think that. So you had a D&C after your miscarriage. And if you don't mind me asking, how many weeks were you?
I believe it was like around between 9 and 12. I wasn't exactly sure, but.
Okay, got it. And so, okay, got it. So they were just taking out the remaining pieces and tissues and things like that. So that's what they were doing. Okay. And you said that you were having chronic pelvic pain, and just a lot of abnormal bleeding?
Yeah.
Before? Okay. And did you say that you had endometriosis?
They never ever diagnosed it, but I always would look up the symptoms and stuff, and I would say this has to be something that I would have. But I would go ultrasounds done, and they'd be like, "Oh, we don't see anything. We don't see anything." So I was never officially diagnosed until I had my hysterectomy. Then I see that I did now. So.
Oh, okay. So, oh my gosh. So that's like after the fact.
Yeah.
So with the doctors that you had, so you said your OBGYN. Wait, I want to go backwards because you said something that I think a lot of women go through. They keep going back to the ER and then they're just pumping you up with medication. And it's almost like to get you hooked, but it's like pumping you up with medication, not really giving you anything else but here you go, here you go, here you go. And then from that medication, now it's another issue that arise. And so I think that's just, I think it's just really jacked up, quite frankly, because it's like, wait, you don't, it's something else. So I wonder what other, because you said something about a surgery, another surgery that they were talking about. So I wonder, was it the myomectomy? But that was more so of having fibroids if you had that. So I wonder what other surgery were they were thinking about. And you never knew what other surgery? They never told you?
No, he said you could have had some type of scarring on scar tissue or something like that. They said they could go in and possibly get that out. But he said there's a high chance that that's not going to work and you're going to have to get a hysterectomy either way. So let's just go ahead and do the hysterectomy. I was like, okay. Like it didn't have an option. So
this is what I have an issue with. It's like you don't even have a choice. You know, it's your body, right? It's your voice, but it just seems like you don't have a choice. And it seemed like it was rushed.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. It sounds familiar. With mine, it was rushed. It was like it's a emergency hysterectomy. And did they use that term with you? It's an emergency?
Yeah, he was just like, oh, if that's something you want to do, let's do it. And I was like, well, let me think about it. 2 days later, they called me. They were like, let's set up your surgery date. And I was like, okay. And then they set it up. I was thinking it might have been like at least a few months out. They set it up for 2 weeks later. And I was like, okay. So I didn't even have time to process, really.
Right. So that's right. And then what was your thoughts like? Well, you saying you didn't have time to process, but that 2 weeks, what were you thinking during that 2 week time? Because did you want to have more children? Like what was that? What was your mindset in that?
So I was going back and forth a lot, but I myself was adopted. And so I had talked to my mom about it and she said, hey, you know, like if you do go through with this, just know that if you do decide to have more kids down the line, like there's more options. And, you know, and she's right. Like I've always been open to adoption and stuff anyway. So I think that kind of made me more confident in my decision. But yeah, it was kind of like, I feel like I still am kind of grieving the fact that I know that I made a decision to know that I could never ever have children again, whether I know if I want to or not. It's just kind of weird that like I know that it's just not an option. But yeah. So
yes, that is a real thing of feeling like that loss, like you're grieving. So mine is a year. Well, it's going to be a year coming up of having it was last year. Excuse me. It was last year when I had my hysterectomy. But I definitely understand that because it's like, man, if I didn't want to, I still, or what if, just that what if you don't have that particular option to actually birth, but you still have the option to adopt. And I just think adoption parents are phenomenal. From the ones I've known of, they're amazing. Even, you know, foster parents that are that have been a positive impact in children's lives. I think that's awesome too, if you do go in that route. But I understand it. I understand it very clearly of, okay, well, dang, you know, if we get down with the get down, it's no oops or it's no possibility. So have you ever thought about or open to having counseling? Have you thought about that?
Counseling?
Yes.
I actually am in therapy. I've been in therapy for since before this even started, just for some relationship stuff that I was going through. So I am thankful for that. So yeah, that's
okay. Okay, good. Okay. Do you want to touch on that, the relationship?
Yeah, I'll touch on it a little bit. A lot of this too, like has been kind of like a healing process and trauma because I'm just barely getting out of like a pretty abusive relationship. And it ended earlier this year, but I'm still definitely processing and dealing with it. And I feel like maybe my decision to get this done was kind of like a healing, like an ending chapter towards that too. My miscarriage was caused because of abuse. So yeah. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing. You are a true warrior, and you got this. Like I said, thank you. Thank you for sharing. You got this. Okay. You got this. Okay. So can you talk to me the day of actually having your hysterectomy? Talk to me, go back there. And that's 3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah. So I remember going in. I had my friend with me and my dad was with me, and I didn't even have like a pre-op appointment. I hadn't seen my doctor since the time that he told me, oh, you should get it done. And then I was like, okay. And then it was like 2 weeks later, and I saw him the morning of surgery, and he was like, all right, this is the plan. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't even really know what happened. And then I didn't know that I officially had endometriosis and stuff until I got the diagnosis papers back like a week ago. So then I was like, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew that I had I trusted my body. I knew that something wasn't right. But they kept telling me, oh, we've done ultrasounds, we've done this and that. It doesn't look like anything's wrong. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't be having pain like this if there was nothing wrong. So I didn't get officially diagnosed with endometriosis. I think I was stage 2. That says in my paperwork from after the appointment. So. Yeah.
And this is your OB. You said your OB that you had your 2 amazing handsome boys from.
Yeah, and have the genes.
Okay. So then you have the hysterectomy. You're waking up, and what are your thoughts from there? I'm taking you back. But what are your thoughts from there?
I think it was just kind of an emptiness feeling, okay, there's no going back now. It's done. It was just so rushed that I feel like I was kind of whoa, yeah, it was just, yeah. I went home to my parents' house for a few days, and they helped me out with the kids and stuff. And I don't think it really, really hit me until a week later. So.
Mm-hmm. It was something that you said previous that you didn't have a pre-op appointment.
No. I didn't have an appointment from the last time I went to see my OB, and I saw him, and I said, is this even an option? What should we do? He said, let's make the appointment. I didn't see him again until the morning of my surgery.
Wait, how is this? Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Let me drink some tea. Let me drink some lympho tea. Wait a minute here.
Water too.
Wait.
Which I didn't think was not normal. And then I'm reading about it, and I'm like, am I the only one that didn't have a pre-op appointment? Because that should have been normal, right? That's the normal thing. You're supposed to have a pre-op appointment. When you have the pre-op appointment, usually they're going to do a urine test. They're going to draw some blood. They're going to give you your paperwork. They're going to make sure that these are the instructions that you need to follow before even having a surgery. They're going to go through everything. They're going to also go down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to your insurance. You know, how you're going to pay for this, all of that. This is what time you're supposed to show up. They're going to go through every little detail. So then therefore you are comfortable and you know what's to come. So it's just pretty much, this is what I'm saying. It just seemed like it was so rushed, and it was just like, boom, here you are. We're setting you up to have a hysterectomy. And I just think that's just so unfortunate because what was the diagnosis until after? So that is just so unfair to you. You don't even have, it's just okay, you have some scarring there that, okay, let's get this done because you're saying that you're going through these different issues. Okay, let's just get her out of here. We're going to do this and then keep it moving, but then give you a diagnosis later. I just think that is just jacked up. That's the best word I'm going to say right now, but it's just jacked up because you're not even able to hey, even if you wanted to get a second opinion, it just seemed like everything was just so rushed. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chris, that this has happened. Okay. So then after that, so now during this, what are your symptoms? What do you feel after? After I feel like I actually had a pretty okay recovery, but that's because the pain that I was feeling from the recovering of the surgery was nothing compared to the pain that I've been feeling the entire year from my cramps and everything that I was feeling. So I guess that's a good thing. I don't feel like I've been in as much pain. I feel like I'm not in pain at all compared to what I've been through this entire year. So I feel like, at least I'm happy that sense of it. So
Okay. Now, do you what was I gonna say? Did you have fibroids that you knew of?
Yep. No, I didn't know about it. That's the thing too, is like I was the one that brought it up. They're like, oh, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong. But then after, a week later after the surgery, they send you like everything that they find. I had fibroids, I had endometriosis stage 2, I had so much scarring, so much stuff that I was like, see, I told you, but why did I have to tell you this? Like, why could you guys look? They gave me 4 ultrasounds this year and you told me that I had nothing wrong. So I'm like, I knew I wasn't crazy. So.
And so I'm wondering, was the surgery that your doctor was talking about? That's why I keep going back. I wonder, was he talking about the myomectomy, which is the removal of the fibroids? But if you actually knew about that, you could have at least been offered, whether it was that or the uterine fibroid embolization, where they do the slit through your arm or closer to your thigh, and it's pretty much draining out the blood, right, is cutting off the blood supply to the fibroids. And that could have possibly really helped you in that way of having all the bleeding. And then, they could have done some other different things, or just tried, instead of just saying, hey, the hysterectomy is just your last resort, when it's other different things that are out there. It's herbs that you can take that's out there as well, that is it helps with, fibroids. It helps with the pain, with the bleeding. It's so many different things that they could have offered, and they didn't. And I just think that's jacked up.
Yeah. It was one of those, so glad that I trusted my body and like myself moments, because I guess if I didn't even bring that up, or if I didn't even question it, then I would still be in pain every single month like I have been. And I would still be just getting wrote off like, oh, we don't see anything, there's nothing wrong. So it's like, at least I knew that there was. And even before, they were like, oh, we don't know why we're doing the hysterectomy, we don't see anything. And then come to find out after, oh, I did have fibroids, I did have endometriosis, I did have tons of scarring in there, like I did have stuff going on,
So did you have your post-op visit with your doctor after? Have you had that yet?
No, not yet. No.
Did you schedule one, or did they schedule it for you?
Yeah, it's gonna be next week. So.
Okay. I'm really nosy. I would love to know what they say, but you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for you at least to be able to share your concerns with your doctor. So then your doctor, and they're like, man, I wish that I was at least told about what was my diagnosis first. Yeah. They're going to, I think that is important, because maybe you can actually help the next person.
Right.
Maybe you can be able to share that. And that's why I'm happy to have you on, to really be able to share your story and shed light, because you're helping somebody right now. You are helping someone to realize, okay, hey, maybe I need to get a second opinion, or maybe I need to have my diagnosis. I need this. And to know, okay, I still say it's light at the end of the tunnel. It's a journey. And so that's why I tell you, it is a journey. But what do you have your questions written down for your provider yet?
No, but I do want to go over what they found, because I want to remind him that he told me there was nothing that they found, and I know that they did take pictures, so I would love to get those pictures back and see for myself.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Those photos the photos that you're going to get, that should have been given to you, like, how I'm thinking about it, like before your post-op. Because I'm just like going back to like how my appointment was. So, yeah. You have your photos. They give you this is what we found. This is the diagnosis. This is, the suggestions. If, or other opportunities, other different surgeries or other procedures that they can offer you. Mine, it was just more of just the hysterectomy. So the same thing. It was just boom. You have these fibroids. My uterus was the size of a pineapple, and it was tilted. My uterus was tilted. And I think it was like close to 6 fibroids. Girl, I was walking around here looking like I was pregnant and in pain. During sex, it was painful because of all that pressure.
Yeah.
And I was constipated. I told you I'm getting real. I was all of those different things, bleeding. So I understand. So, but with you, I'm just like, wow, I'm just really stunned right now that you didn't get a diagnosis. It was just pretty much saying scarring. This is what it was. And so I would be curious. I would love to know what they say. You said that you were adopted. So I've never been to Salt Lake City, Utah. I only see it like on TV, and it looks beautiful, by the way. So I've never been there. And yes. So tell me, how is it there? And I don't want to assume, but tell me, what is your race?
So I'm Black and white, and I was adopted into a white family. My mom, she had my older brother, and then she also she was having a hard time getting pregnant, so she had a hysterectomy, and then they put in their adoption papers, and then that's when they got me. So that was kind of, so like, I talked to her about a lot of before I got the surgery done, and she kind of was giving me like the confidence to do it and stuff too, because she had also had one. So I was just, going off of what her advice and stuff. So.
Okay. I'm getting ready to get a little heavy. Okay. Do you feel like, so let me start here. In the U.S., it is 600,000 women that have hysterectomies every year. Okay. And the top race that has hysterectomies are Black women. We are 16.4%.
Yeah.
The lowest percentage is Asian. Okay. Then it goes to Hispanic, and then it goes to white women. And so I wanted to know your race, because how do you feel like you were treated, being that you are biracial, and then what do you identify as?
I do identify as biracial, but I honestly just Black because my kids are Black, so I'm just, I'm with them. But I do feel like, being in my doctor's office, every single doctor there is white. My doctor's a white man. Like, I do feel like that does have something to do with it. Just because I don't know if I would feel comfortable, and if I have felt comfortable asking questions to him and like pressing the issue and stuff like that. And I feel like maybe I did feel like everything was rushed and stuff. And so I do think that probably had something to do with my race as well. So, yeah.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
So I asked those different things because when you were saying that you were going to the ER, okay, here she come again, talking about she's in pain, because the reality is when Black women, we go to ERs, doctors, and things like that, we are told that, okay, whatever, here she goes, she's making up something.
Yeah.
And, or here you go, here's some medication just to get you up out of here. So, or not given other different therapies or things, anything else that can actually help us. And so I asked you that question because I remember going to a standalone clinic out here in Las Vegas. And I just remembered, because I remember taking a pregnancy test. I'm like, okay, man, okay. All right, girl, you're pregnant. Okay. So I go into the ER and I'm letting them know what my symptoms were. And they were just looking at me like, okay, all right, well, we'll take a urine test. I take the urine test. They're saying it comes back negative. This is what they're telling me. And I'm like, okay, are you able to do a blood test?
Right.
So let's see where my levels, my HCG levels, let's see where they are at. And they were telling me that their lab machine, the machine was down. Now I just saw them go into there, and because you can see it, and they were doing some type of lab testing.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, well, I would like to speak to to the doctor. And so when the doctor comes out, the doctor, he was a white male. And I was explaining to him, he's like, oh, well, they were just giving me like the runaround. So then that's when I had to say, okay, well, I'm a nurse. I understand how this works. And I don't always like to say I'm a nurse. I just want people to do their job, the job that they signed up for. And so I just remember him like, oh, well, where? Well, where do you work? It was more like, okay, I'm more interested in where you work instead of the pain that I'm in right now. And then you're telling me this negative test. Well, I end up leaving there. And again, like I took another pregnancy test. It was positive. And then I went to another, let me see, was it? No, I ended up having a miscarriage because I'm trying to think of like the timing after, but I ended up having a miscarriage. So my thing is I understand what it's like to go into doctor's offices or urgent cares or hospitals, and you're just looked at like, okay, she's not in pain. And then the thing is, so Black women, we're told that we can handle pain.
Yeah.
So I remember being pregnant, and I remember my doctor at that time, he was amazing. Actually, he was amazing. This is in California. And he was just saying that, okay, we're going to, go through with the vaginal birth or whatnot. But I ended up having to have an emergency C-section because the cord was wrapped around my son's neck. So I just remember that. But he was stating that doctors, this is what they discuss. And they talk about, even going back into history, that Black women can handle the most pain. They can handle pain. They're talking about giving birth. So it's like, whether I can handle pain or not, I don't want to have to always be strong.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was told this by my physician, and I was just like, what? Like this is, and it was something about not giving you pain medication right away. Okay, so you can handle the pain. So this is why I like to ask these different questions, like, okay, hey, well, how was your experience? How was your experience, going through this hysterectomy? Did you feel like they were on top of it when they gave you your pain medication?
Now that you're saying that, I do remember that I think the second or third time I went to the ER, I came with the same friend that brought me. And the first question, it was the same doctor and the same nurse. And the first question they asked me was, did you follow up with your doctor like we told you to last time? And I was like, my OB appointments are almost 2 months out. Like, I haven't even had a chance to see them. And I remember the first time they gave me some stronger pain medications. And the second time they gave me aspirin and told me to go home. And I was like, well, I could have done this, myself and not came. And I do remember, like, the first thing they said was like, oh, did you follow up like we told you to? And it's like, well, yes, but that doesn't have anything to do with the pain that I'm in right now. So it's, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. I remember that. Wow. My other question for you is, did you have a biopsy? Did they ever do a biopsy for you first?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't even remember any kind of tests and stuff that they were getting done. I think that they did do the pre-op with like the blood drawn and all of those tests, because I had been into my doctor so many times that year that they just used my previous results from whatever they did.
Okay. So girl, we gotta rewind this back.
Take my test before. I remember the morning of my surgery, I got a urine test to make sure I wasn't pregnant, but they didn't do any blood work. They didn't do anything. So I'm thinking the only thing that they had was on file from, me being in the doctor's so many times earlier that year. So.
Okay. Lord, this is a lot. This is a lot. And I'm so sorry that you really went through this, because I'm like, okay, well, how to know that I guess I'm confused, because I'm like, the biopsy, you needed a biopsy to know if any of the tissues, was it cancerous, was it non-cancerous? Like, what is happening, America?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Before I got it done, my doctor was like, oh, we don't see anything, but if you want to do it, we'll do it. So it's like, I don't even think that he really cared. He was just like, well, it's you saying like you want to do it. And I'm like, yeah, because something's wrong, and it's like, he said, oh, we did the ultrasounds on this. We don't see anything, but let's go ahead and do your surgery. And then after the surgery, after I get like the results back from the lab and stuff, that's when I see everything that I knew that I had that he was telling me that I didn't have. But it's like he was telling me like, oh, there's nothing wrong, but if you want to do it, let's do it. Then why are you giving me the surgery if you think that nothing's wrong? So
Right. So at this point, have you had a chance to talk to your mom about like, how you're feeling now?
yeah, she's has my boys right now. She's very supportive and very supportive. So yeah.
And tell my mom said hello. So okay. What is her? So you said she's supportive. What is her thoughts though?
She just doesn't want me to be in pain anymore, which I agree with, and I guess that is the positive of this because I really haven't. My recovery has been overall pretty easy, but that's because, like I said, the pain that I was in before is nothing compared to the recovery.
It's a different type of pain. Yeah.
Right.
So Now, what type of hysterectomy did you have? Did you have a whole total hysterectomy to where you don't have your ovaries anymore?
I do have my ovaries. They took the cervix, the uterus, and yeah.
Okay. What about, okay, got it. Okay. And do you so far, because I know you're 3 weeks post-op, do you feel like any type of ovulation pains?
No pain, but I do feel like maybe like PMS symptoms. Like I've been very, I had the week where I was like, I'm very emotional, just like that kind of, no, but I haven't had much pain, no. So
I'm gonna say that sounds about right. Yes. Wow. Okay. And then, do you feel bloaty?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then, because you said PMS. What about I'm getting nosy. Constipation. Have you experienced any of that?
I just feel like just still gassy from the surgery, but no, yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if you're doing it already, but just get you some type of you can do like Gas X or something like that, or some type of fiber. Even just eating something that has fiber in it. Okay, like a peach. Peach is good with fiber. Apples is good, with fiber. But do something that have something with fiber, so then it actually helps to break down. And it helps with whatever you need with the gas, because when I tell you that gas is something else. So I always tell everybody the gas is something else. And then also, I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but make sure drink your water. Make sure you're flushing out as much as possible, because UTIs after having a hysterectomy feels different. And sometimes you don't know until it goes 0 to 100 real quick. And then also making sure that you are fresh down below, meaning your pH balance. Getting a good prebiotic or probiotic is really, really helpful in itself. It's important because I always call the yeast gang. they are there, and you don't even know. So it's different. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything is different. Your body is like, okay, something is missing, and it doesn't know, and things are not working the same. But I definitely want to make sure that you are on point with that. Your water. Fleshing out, and definitely with that fiber. That fiber is really definitely going to help you. Okay. And then also, I know you're going to get it, but the uterus bar, I'm telling you, this is going to really, really help you through this journey. It's going to help you with the journey. It has, like I said, affirmations, pre-hysterectomy prayer, post-hysterectomy prayer, and just guiding you through what the nutrients, like what you need to be eating after, and then how to thrive, not kind of but how to thrive after, because that is truly important. It's all about thriving after this, because this is a new normal. This is different. And I know everyone gets their hysterectomies for different reasons, whether, it was an emergency, or like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to help save my life. So everyone is getting it for different reasons, but that guidebook is really, 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 really good too. Yeah. And is it anything that you would like to tell our amazing viewers and our amazing listeners out there?
No, I'm just very, very thankful that I found you when I did, and so much through this journey. And honestly, I feel like that was manifestation. To be able to just come to you with all my questions and have you check in with me. So I just want to let you know that I'm very, very thankful for you. I love that. So.
Thank you. So yes, everyone. So Chris found me the day after her hysterectomy, you guys. Literally like the day, like how many hours? Wow. Like the day.
I surgery, and I was just looking up tags on Instagram, and then I found, yeah.
Wow. And I was like, wait, what? Because I do get women, they find me on Insta, and whether they're thinking about having to have a hysterectomy or like, man, I just had one. So by you coming to me, like I said, love, you are not a burden. If you ever have any questions, please. And so that's why I have that group, the Uterus Bar, because my goal is to really be a bridge, and we can, continue linking arms as women, because we don't know. Sometimes you don't know what questions to ask. Maybe someone, around you, they don't understand it, but at least you have this group and people are able to understand because they don't went through it. You get what I'm saying? And then they can offer suggestions. And that's why I always asked about also counseling, because counseling is an amazing thing. Counseling is amazing because I really feel like people, before you have an hysterectomy or you're going through these different things like fibroids, ovarian cysts, uterine cancer, chronic pelvic pain, PCOS, endometriosis, all of these different things, we need to talk about it. And a lot of times women, again, we're hidden. We don't talk about our pain. And a lot of times those different pains that we are experiencing, they're also sometimes linked to other different things. And so we need to be able to get that out. And then after, how to thrive. And I feel like it's great that you're still going through therapy. Kudos to you. Because that's the real warrior right there. Because okay, you know what? I had this. This is what I'm going through. And I'm in the process of being a healed new me. Yeah. And you're healing and thriving every day. So I want you to know that. So again, for those that are really seeking or looking for a group, the Uterus Bar is your group. Okay. You're going through this. This is a safe space. And I want to tell you also, Chris, I want you to know, even though your power center was snatched out, okay, you are not powerless. Do you hear me? You are powerful. And it was a reason that this was divine for me and you to connect. And so I speak life into you. I speak life into that womb, your womb area. And girl, I'm excited because I cannot wait to continue to be a part of your hysterectomy healing journey. Now, you also said something else. You're a model out there, girl. Okay, tell. I want to hear this. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I run an entertainment company out here, and I just model for local brands and myself. I set up fun photo shoots for my girlfriends and a different modeling group out here called Model Mondays. So, yeah. Okay. On Instagram, follow my journey there. So.
And then, okay, so how can they follow you? How can they find you?
So my Instagram is love, LOVEEKRISS _ on everything. So.
Okay. And then how long have you been doing this for?
like 15 years. I don't know.
Wow.
15 years, so. And I love to model coach now. So if anyone needs any help with any photo shoots or anything like that, like you can just always message me. I love to help people plan them out. And I like to give advice to new models and everything like that. So
Okay. Well, again, where can they find you? One more time.
Love Chris, Lovee, so 2 E's, KRISS on every platform. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining and being here. We are linked now. And everyone, listen, go grab the Uterus Bar book. It's the holidays. Get a gift for yourself. It's going to help you and prepare you and educate you to be able to thrive after having the hysterectomy surgery. And get your let lymph flow lymphatic tea. Now, I know some of you guys were out there indulging, okay, during the Thanksgiving holiday, and you're like, oh my gosh, now Christmas about to come up. What better way can I detox? I'm detoxing every day, okay, and the tea is 10. All right, you guys, on that note, oh, one more thing, you guys, if you do have any questions that you may have and you want to talk to me, give me some type of questions, and I'm going to research the answers and come on here and talk to you guys about it, please email me at theuterusbar@hot7025fm.com. Okay, the Uterus Bar at hot7025fm.com. And no question is a dumb question. Okay, please. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the hottest. Okay, I'm going to say it 2 more times. The hottest radio station here in Viva Las Vegas. Hot 702.5 FM. Bye.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
on hot7025fm.com.
Meet America's new favorite chicken sandwich. Order at Freddy's.com or on your Freddy's app.
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Good evening. Sorry to keep you waiting. I decided to do an IG Live before I walked in. As you know, there's so many people that are in angst and very concerned with the current administration that has been in for a whopping 8 days. And just imagine, we've got to go through this for a total of 4 years. I think that today will probably mean more to my district than my last swearing in, because we are definitely living in scarier times. And so I am so elated and grateful, number one, to have another opportunity to serve, but more importantly, to be able to share in my swearing in for a second term with the people that send me to DC. And again, the only people that can fire me, regardless of how many other people around the country want me to be fired. I want my district to always know that they will always be my priority and they are always my focus. Even when I can't physically be present, because if some of you noticed, I ended up traveling the country, doing my best to try to prevent what is happening right now. And so I am so grateful to my district, because in my absence, they still gave me the strongest numbers of any challenged Democrat or Republican in the state of Texas that was seeking re-election. It was a testament to what they believe I can accomplish and what it is that I was able to accomplish. So with that, that's just my few opening remarks, but I want to make sure I get to y'all's questions. I heard y'all know all the rules, so we can start with whoever wants to go first.
Representative Teresa Woodard from WFAA,
Yeah.
ABC station here in Dallas. I'd like to talk to you about this
Yeah.
funding freeze.
Yeah.
This is money that Congress
Yeah.
approved.
Yeah.
So, Congresswoman, do you believe that what the president did is legal?
No, I don't. In short, I don't believe that the president has this authority. The president did say as he campaigned that he would be a dictator on day one. It sounds like he's going to continue to try his best to be a dictator. The reality is that we go through appropriations every single year. And when we go through appropriations, number one, that is because there is only $1 body that has the power of the purse, and that is the Congress. It has to go through 535 people and then be signed into law by one president. And so we have monies that have been appropriated by law. And so no swipe of a pen can just delete that and stop that. And unfortunately, we have someone who has a Supreme Court that he handpicked that has definitely tested the bounds of law. I think right now what we see is we have a president that is going to continue to push those bounds and test those bounds. And unfortunately, if this Supreme Court does not get it right, it will be disastrous for the Republic as a whole. The reality is that I was able to at least get a glimpse into how I feel like the Supreme Court will conduct themselves when it came down to the TikTok ban. Now, I know a lot of people feel a way about TikTok, but from a legal standpoint, at the end of the day, it was signed into law by Biden. And he was attempting to stop what had been signed into law and had been passed through both chambers. And in a 9-0 decision, the Supreme Court determined that he was unable to do that. So with that being said, if they keep up this type of energy, I think that we will see his attempt at getting rid of birthright citizenship, which if you are going to have any protections in this country, the strongest protections aren't even the fact that we pass a law. Our strongest protections arise out of our Constitution.